Minus Tree Cafeteria. Overview. The Minus Tree Cafeteria is a fairly large room that appeared in Garten of Banban the Third Tree. In the Minus Tree Cafeteria, we can see many different cafeteria-style tables, all sporting a white-ish green top and lime green seats, which matches the theme of the room as it's colored green as well. Unlike the other tables we saw in the cafeteria during the original Garten of Banban, there also appears to be a long horizontal window on one of the walls with a green door beside it, most likely meaning the player is meant to go inside of it. The player is meant to go inside of it, the obscured area. Across from the window to the right side, there are two black arrow decals on the wall, implying that there may be some sort of puzzle that needs to be completed, presumably before entering the room with the window. Not shown in the picture, however, the third mural depicting all of the kindergarten mascots appears to be in this room on the opposite side of the picture, as light green on the walls matches that of the mural picture, along with the Jumbo Josh and Baby Opila Bird teaser shown for Garten of Banban Tree. Minus Tree Medical Sector is the small sector that appears in Garten of Banban Tree. It only has two rooms, the surgery room and the secret green room. In the connecting areas of the Minus Tree Medical Sector, you can find purple stripes flowing on the floor, as well as purple walls and many different locked rooms. This article is not complete. Music's up. Music is now not louder, I think. Minus 4 green room is a secret room in Garten of Banban 4. The Apple Tree Room is a room that appears during Garten of Banban 4. The room has painted green walls with clouds and bird drawn on the wall. The main thing in the room is the apple tree growing in the room. It is also possible to see that there is grass, and just before the actual apple tree area, a sort of food area is shown with a dinner table, guardrails, and a watering can. The Aquafiddles room is a room in the medical sector in Garten of Banban 2. Aquafiddles was formerly an occupant of the room, but after the player shoots a rocket into his eyeball, Using a cannon, Aquafildo leaves the room, going into an empty dark area of the room. However, if the player goes to the cannon game room and grabs an extra firework rocket and shoots it into the empty room, the lights will turn on, revealing desks and a hat sitting on the table. There's also a red key card sitting there that is used to open Oofman Adams' office. Who's the player? The arboreal/aquatic sector is one of the 4 sectors in Garten of Banban Tree, in which there are 5 rooms. The aforementioned arboreal/aquatic sector, which are the Flynn room, the spider room, Toadster's jail, the white room, and the assembly call room. The assembly is an event that occurs in the assembly room at the end of Garten of Banban 2. Before the assembly, Banban arrives on a worker lift and starts talking to a player, or explains that all of the doors in the room will soon open. After Banban talks to the player for a little while, a chime plays, indicating that it's now assembly time. Banban then tells the player that they must go through Opila Bird's walkway and take the worker lift there. All of the doors except Opila Bird's are open. While Opila Bird's door opens, Jumbo Josh and Bambalina appear from the doors and are the only ones present during assembly time. Opila Bird's door finally opens, and now the player must run away from Bambalina and avoid dead ends while Jumbo Josh smashes some doors to try and get them. After the player reaches the end of Opila Bird's walkway, they must now activate one of the white key card readers to open the door above the X. As soon as Bambalina walks on the X, Jumbo Josh's fist will slam her down on the ground, only to then pick her up and lift her upwards while she's screaming. Bambalina will then drop the white key card the player needs to finish the game. Trivia: Banban compares assembly time to a zoo, a lot of beings inside containment. Banban hints at the possibility that assembly time is a way for workers to observe how the mascots interact with each other. Assembly call room. The minus tree break room is a location appearing in Garten of Banban Tree, although unknown as to what part of the game this location is seen in. The minus tree break room has several black plastic chairs, alongside wood texture tabletops, forming mismatched table chair sets, which presumably employees use to sit down and discuss things amongst each other amongst each other. The atmosphere of the monastery break rooms feels quite eerie, as the floor and ceiling are a darker shade of blue, while the walls are a shade of orange, similar to that in color of Stinger Flynn. The singular overhead light shown is off-centered, casting an odd light pattern on the floor, keeping the room somewhat non-illuminated. Looking closely at the foreground, a megaphone is visible on one of the walls, as seen in the hub, presumably serving the same purpose as it did in Garten of Banban. 2 vending machines, a drone customization station, and several Javanium barrels are also seen in the background against the orange wall, with one of them being tipped over on its side. Looking at the closest table, you can also see what is presumably some kind of case note. The assembly room is a very large room located in the testing sector during Garten of Banban 2. The room appears at the end of the game. Inside the entrance to the room, you can find doors that represent almost every kindergarten mascot. The mascots that don't have a door in this room are Pilitrix, Jumbo Josh's siblings, Captain Fiddle's crew, Zolfia's Queen Bouncelia, and Nabnalina. The room has many hallways and corridors that the players chase through. The only entrance to the assembly room is through the parkour room. You have to complete many steps of parkour until you finally make a leap of faith and walk down the hallway to the door to the assembly room. This entrance is one way, which means you can only enter and not exit through here. The only exit to the assembly room is through a worker lift at the end of the hallways, but while trying to get to this exit, you are chased by Bonbalina and Jumbo Josh. Audio discs or floppy disks that have been labeled with an audio symbol, meaning they are meant for recording audio. They are mainly used for assemblies, which are unique sounds that each monster knows different, which means certain monsters are called to the source of a sound. Which are unique sounds that each monster knows different, which means certain monsters are called to the source of a sound, while certain monsters aren't. This allows workers to call whichever monster they want to the sound. Period. In Garten of Banban 3, there are 2 audio discs in 2 different locations, the green room and the surgery room. The spider assembly disc is a special audio disc that is located in the surgery room. It was left in the surgery room because Napnalina's surgery never got to be completed due to all of the workers being captured or killed during Bring a Friend Day. So the spider assembly disc that was meant to be used after the surgery was completed was simply left there. It calls Nabnab and Nabnalina together. The Zolfia's assembly disc is a secret audio disc that is located in a locked closet in the green room. It was intentionally hidden by Uthman Adam or Weatherly Mason, as it calls a secret monster that was even hidden from the workers, which is Zolfia's. Yes, these are Fury is, but they are the combined Fury is of everyone who has edited this page, so feel free to add your own Fury is. Long before Banban's kindergarten was founded, there is a smaller kindergarten that we'll refer to as Jester's Kindergarten. Jester's Kindergarten had 6 mascots: Tamataki, Chamataki, Bitter Giggle, Solvius, Syringion, and Kittysaurus. The old kindergarten was running smoothly until some unknown incident occurred which caused it to burn down, burning the people inside along with the mascots, or so they thought. One of the children that died was a child named Josh. The parents of Josh, who was one of the kids who died in the All kindergarten fire, powered by grief, they begin searching for ways to bring their child to be brought back from death. The two parents start a new kindergarten on top of the smoldered, decaying remains of the old kindergarten. They started as a front for illegal science experiments that have the main goal of bringing their child Josh back to life. They begin hiring scientists and employees, not telling them the true goal of the experiment. 2000 to 2016. Dr. Uthman Adam was hired by Banban's kindergarten to head the creation of their living mascots. Their first tested mammalian blood circulatory systems in case 2 to 6, where they were left with little results likely. The first of the available case update reports was created on Juvenium and was the second update is available where the document says that the first Juvenium infused mascot moved an arm like its artificial nervous system had worked for a split second, which shows their first bit of progress in creating life. The main mascot Banban was one of the first mascots to be created, referred to as Case 6. The workers of Banban's kindergarten transferred his circulatory system to Juvenium instead of the much less capable mammalian systems. Case 6 coming to life resulted in him following the behavior of other cases who had human genome donors, which is then remembering many memories that belonged to the original human donor, in this case the memories of Uthman Adam as he was the donor. Due to the human genome existing within Case 6, he has been observed eating and drinking despite him not needing to. Strangely, like all of the previous cases that are alive, he described a constant pain inside of him that cannot be completely explained. Case 6 is capable of many other things, such as fluent speech, high intelligence, similar to his donor, and because of his primary gene being human, he is docile and cooperative, yet incredibly confused by his lab experiment status. Banban reportedly sees himself as a human, specifically as Uthman Adam, who is Banban's human genome donor. He describes an immense feeling of pain in his stomach for the first time, and the kindergarten also begins playing a meeting between Uthman Adam and Banban. The meeting between Uthman Adam and Banban takes place. During the meeting, Banban first treated Uthman Adam like any other stranger they've met by shaking hands, even though Banban thinks he is Uthman Adam. Uthman Adam then began explaining that they're the original genome donor for Banban. Uthman then tried to start explaining some of the science behind Juvenium procedures, but while he was talking, Banban suddenly became extremely angry and tried to attack the doctor, but was stopped by security. Uthman Adam suffered minor injuries and Banban was placed in solitary confinement. Banban has gone completely crazy, only sitting in the corner, repeating the words Juvenium, Pancreas, Weverly, and Uthman. Banban is not ready for presentation. Banban repeatedly asked to meet with Dr. Weverly Mason. All of his attempts are denied. This urge could be due to his human genome donor's unknown relation with Dr. Weverly Mason. Banban thinks he is Dr. Uthman Adam. Banbalina is created to help with the Banban situation. Originally, Banbalina acted identical to Banban prior to his introduction to Uthman Adam, and because of that situation with Banban, Banbalina would not meet her human genome donor. Banbalina was placed into Banban's room where he was crying in the corner. Banbalina is asked to walk closer to Banban, who starts looking up at her. He then rushes at her, hugging her. Then he goes back to the corner. Banbalina is instructed to leave the room. After Banbalina met Banban, she became more and more uncooperative every day. Banbalina is not ready for presentation. In order to solve the Banban problem, Banban is injected with a new Juvenium solution that limits his intelligence and other brain activity, but this creates even more problems. At first it seems like the solution worked, but Banban first begins shaking in extreme pain coming from their stomach, and eventually the scientists realize what they have done, which is unintentionally creating Banban's hellish form. Stinger Flint section coming soon here. Sheriff Toadster is created using the genomes of a human donor and a frog donor. At first he is a simple toad hopping and riveting, but after an altered given M solution similar to the altered Gavinium solution applied to the Stinger Applied to Stinger Flynn, he is able to learn to master walking on 2 legs, ditch his nocturnal sleeping cycle, and completely stop mimicking toads. Case 10. Opila Bird was created with the goal of creating a monster that displays motherly love. Case uses the Phenicopterus roseus flamingo genome as well as the Strufio camelus ostrich genome. Opila Bird underwent genetic modifications to give her motherly love. She began being extremely aggressive towards humans except children, which has to do with Opila Bird's love for her chicks. Opila Bird escaped from containment and saw and heard her children being harmed. This caused her to become extremely angry and her eyes became bloodshot. Case is deemed not ready for presentation. The kindergarten informs Uthman and Adam that they have lowered the amount of active case from 10 to 6 because they do not have enough money to use the amount of Gavanium he was wasting on experiments like Case 12 and all of its subcases. This case is a failure because almost all of these monsters never came to life. They also inform him to get ready for Bring a Friend Day. Waverly Mason writes a letter to Uthman and Adam saying that she is sorry that the kindergarten needs to drop some of these cases. She informs Uthman Adam that he needs to keep Solfius a secret and that they should drop the spider, the frog, and the snail. The spider was too creepy, the frog's only purpose was to patrol the town, which there was none, and the snail because the hyperactive children wouldn't like it. She ends the message with a humble cheer up, bracket, close parentheses. Uthman Adam gets a dreadful note from Waverly Mason saying that they have reviewed the ball pit's architecture and found that it's a miracle it hadn't collapsed yet. It can't support the children that are enrolled in the kindergarten and they're going to have double that on Bring a Friend Day. She then writes that something very bad could happen and they need to get out of here as their superiors would kill them if they find out. She then says that she has a plan for tomorrow, parentheses, Bring a Friend Day, and that he just needs to get ready and pack his bags. October 23rd, 2016. It was planned that all cases would be present in Bring a Friend Day, but they were running late, and the only case ready for presentation was Case 12G, Captain Fiddles, and Case 13, Stinger Flynn. Despite this, they decided to bring all cases were brought to the outer sector to be presented to all children, their friends, the workers, and the company owners. At first they acted fine and nice. Uthman Adam and Waverly Mason were inside of the facility during the event but planned to sneak out and board a flight to Madrid, Spain, as they knew that something bad was most likely going to happen with the ball pit, likely to collapse in the cases not being ready for presentation. Sooner than expected, the ball pit collapsed, which set off a chain reaction that would destroy the facility. Instantly, Solfius awakened, Banban transformed into their hellish form, and the animalistic instincts of the rest of the mascots were triggered, as the cases weren't ready for presentation and therefore unsafe. This caused them to go on a murderous rampage after the children, workers, and parents, though it also triggered something evil to awaken on level -4 of the kindergarten. One worker left on floor -4 in the employee training sector hear scream and cry from above and begins to see a terrifying creature, aka the unnamed marionette. Period, no space. Stinger Flynn didn't participate in the rampage, but took the time to plan something. He instead took the children and some of the important workers such as Waverly Mason, but it is unknown if Uthman Adam was kidnapped as well, or if he was murdered. Stinger Flynn even saved children from the other monsters just so he could kidnap them. We know this from an unknown kid writing, "The nice jellyfish saved us from the big bird and the evil red man. We are going to the jellyfish's home." The same unknown child also wrote before that, "I am hiding in a room that I have to fight the monster," of a drawing of a pillow bird attacking them. This was the beginning of the end of the facility. During Bring a Friend Day, a surgery was taking place in the arboreal/aquatic sector. The surgery was taking place on Nabalina's lifeless body. They had completed everything except the Gavanium injections, but before they could complete the final steps, the alarm bells started to ring and the doctors had to abort the surgery, where they eventually suffered an unknown fate. Stinger Flynn first takes the children and the workers hiding in the purple room, then the workers hiding in the break room. He then holds them temporarily in the B2 cafeteria, even letting them play with crayons. One of them drew pants on Captain Fiddles. Many workers flee the outer sector, scattering throughout the facility. One worker barricaded himself in the entrance of the communications sector and suffered constant attacks from Nab Nab, causing them to lose their sanity. Writing on a piece of paper, "The spider is real," over and over again. They banged their heads on walls, floors, and tables trying to get rid of their dots. They ended up killing themselves in the process. A group of workers were trapped in one of the corners in the medical center, fighting off an attack by Captain Fiddles and his crew. Shortly after, they were overwhelmed and were killed. The Gavanium inside of the Captain Fiddles crew completely dried up, leaving all except Cyan Fiddles dead. The player gears up and enters the abandoned Banban's kindergarten with the goal of finding and saving their child, who is enrolled in the kindergarten and was in the building during Bring a Friend Day. Their child was one of the children that were kidnapped by Stinger Flynn during Bring a Friend Day. While venturing through the outer sector, they come across Opila Bird, who begins stalking them, similar to the behavior of a real predator. After entering the ball pit and completing the "What Was My Color" puzzle, the player is met with Opila Bird riding a chairlift towards the player. Upon Opila Bird reaching the player, she stalks them until she attempts to attack, but the player activates the bridge using the drone, allowing them to run away, causing Opila Bird to begin pursuit of the player. They then jump off the platform back onto solid ground, and just before Opila Bird can kill them, they activate the emergency stop, causing Opila Bird to fall down down the collapsed ball pit, hitting her head on the way down. The player continues on, riding a secret worker lift down, but their ride is interrupted by Jumbo Josh, who climbs onto the lift, and because of his weight, it caused the lift to collapse and fall on top of himself, which knocks him out. The player wakes up laying on the worker lift, which is crushing a currently unconscious Jumbo Josh, who has suffered injuries to his head and body, causing permanent marks on his body. The player proceeds out to the hub, where they enter the communication sector and hear Banban pretending to be a human security guard. He explains that he walked into the security office and the door is locked behind him. He asks for help getting out. He opens the break room and sends them to the maintenance room. In a maintenance room, Nab Nab runs out of the darkness and begins pursuit of the player. The player manages to escape to the stairs, where Nab Nab, who's locked in tunnel vision, smashes into the wall, knocking him out. The player escapes the situation, rushing to the security office to let Banban or whoever they think is the security guard out. When he enters the room, no one's inside, and there's a note on the table. The note reads, "If you read this fast enough, you might be able to escape, but I'm going to hit you very, very hard," smiley face. And before they are able to finish reading it, Banban strikes them in the back of their head, explaining that he has captured you to have the perfect surgical specimen, as well as all their key cards. Banban then takes the unconscious body of the player to the medical sector, where he presumably performs surgery on them. He then stitches the player back up and dumps their body in the storage room of the medical sector. Shortly after this, the player wakes up and proceeds to the medical sector, where they extract the final amount of Gavanium from Captain Fiddle's crew, ensuring that the Captain Fiddle's crew is dead forever. The player proceeds out of the medical sector where they see Zolfius rise from the abyss and that Jumbo Josh has woken up and dragged himself away. The player enters the testing sector where they run into Alpilla Bird who has scars on her face. Bombalina shouts, "Quick, in here," walking back into the room she came from. The player runs over to Bombalina's classroom where she teaches assembly. Somewhere in the facility, an unknown being calls assembly just as the player enters the assembly room, and following the protocols of assembly, the facility automatically shut the door behind them, locking the player in the middle of the most dangerous room inside of the facility. Banban rises up from an unknown area, riding a worker lift behind a piece of reinforced glass. He tells the player that assembly has been called, and all of the walkways open with all of the monsters converging upon the room. Jumbo Josh breaks through his door, and Bombalina runs out of hers. The player follows the instructions of Banban and runs through Alpilla Bird's walkway, which she is not in because she is attending to her children. Running through it, Jumbo Josh and Bombalina chase the player, with Jumbo Josh breaking through doors and windows attempting to kill the player, but all of these attempts are in vain as the player reaches the end of the hallway, opening a door in the roof, tricking Bombalina into running under it, causing Jumbo Josh, who's just trying to take either one of them, to crush her into the floor and take her into the darkness as she screams. The player opens the door to the next room and rides a worker lift down to floor B2. Son of a... The player reaches the last functional level of the kindergarten before everything went wrong. On Bring a Friend Day, Banban, who is happy to see the player, explains why he shouldn't help the player face to face, being that he is prone to violent instincts, referencing his hellish form, and say that he doesn't trust himself to not let himself accept his violent ways. Banban tells the player to talk to Stinger Flynn at the aquatic sector, but Stinger Flynn has more important things to deal with than the reason of the player. He then puts the player into the beach dream. He tells the player that he needs the children to see the real outside world. Banban says that some scientists thought that Nob Nob was aggressive because he was lonely, and they had a solution, and that was to make Nob Nalina. Banban explains, as if he was Dr. Uthman Adam, that the procedure was interrupted during the Bring a Friend Day incident, and the hardest part of the procedure was done, and the player just had to inject the correct Gavanium mix into Nob Nalina to bring her to life. After the procedure, Nob Nalina is loose, and the player is given the Spider Assembly audio tape. Banban tells the player to return to the aquatic sector and play the audio tape on the lounge speaker. The player calls the assembly, and the two spiders meet. After Banban says that he feels that they should have been mutants, he's cut off as Stinger Flynn comes from the abyss, knocking out Nob Nob and taking his body, and Nob Nalina runs back to Nob Nob's room in a hurry as the door closes. Upon going to investigate Nob Nob's death, the player is frozen by Stinger Flynn using his mind. He says that the player should have already left the kindergarten and puts them through the desert dream. The player enters the dragon fight room and meets face to face with Tomataki and Chamataki after following the instructions written on the walls, which explains how to fight off the two-headed dragon. The player collects 3 firework rockets, and each time they collect one, they place it onto Chamataki's tongue. Each time they consume the fire rockets, and they explode inside of the monster. And finally, after 3 rockets, the old mascot of Jester's kindergarten finally collapses, and the player is able to obtain party hats for Mr. Kebab Man. Using Mr. Kebab Man, the player lures one of the Opila chicks into a frenzy, running away from the protection of Opila Bird and Tarda Bird, who are guarding the Opila chick. The player grabs the baby bird, causing Tarda Bird to jump down and begin chasing the player, but the player jumps onto Tarda Bird's back, taming the bird. Soon after, Opila Bird jumps down as well, and the two enter the room in front of them, with the player placing the baby bird on Opila's back as Stinger Flynn rises from the abyss with a knocked out Banban in hand. He explains that Banban has somehow allowed Stinger Flynn to find out about very important information, and then using his powers, he transforms Banban into his hellish form, From there, Banban gets up and begins chasing the player and the birds as the birds partake in a testing area that was meant to race a pillar bird and tartar bird, letting each one go forward and backward to allow the correct bird to enter the next door first. Eventually, they reach the monster fight. The event starts after the bird race ends with the player riding on tartar bird's back into another section of the room with a pillar bird and a baby pillar bird riding on her back, following not too far behind. Hellish Banban chases tartar bird and the player into a room. Upon catching up, feral Banban tells the player, "You can run away, but the smell of your pancreas will always draw me to you." Before he can kill the player, Jumbo Josh unexpectedly stomps into the room, shaking the entire room with every step, getting Banban's attention. This distraction allows Tartar Bird and the player, who are soon followed by a pillar bird and a baby, to escape to a higher and safer area where they watch as the fight escalates. Jumbo Josh stomps closer and closer until Banban jumps onto him, where he begins punching Jumbo Josh over and over again, but Jumbo Josh is totally unfazed by this and just picks Banban off of him like a fly and throws him onto the floor before crushing him into the ground with his left hand. Before Jumbo Josh could use both of his hands to kill Banban, he is interrupted by Stinger Flynn, who pushes Jumbo Josh away before emerging from the darkness. He then orders Jumbo Josh to stop and goes in with his Stinger, attempting to put Jumbo Josh into a dream state, but the Jumbo Josh immediately dodges Stinger Flynn before grabbing him. He then shows his true strength by throwing Stinger Flynn to the ground with all his strength, shaking the entire facility. The shaking causing Tartar Bird to lose his balance and fall onto the concrete floor below. Horrified by this, a pillar bird looks at the player, letting them know that she is entrusting them to take care of her child before jumping down to save Tartar Bird. The player and the Apollo chick proceed to the next room, leaving a dead Banban, a knocked out Jumbo Josh and Stinger Flynn, a pillar bird, and an injured Tartar Bird behind. They are left with one message when advancing to floor B3: find the kingdom, find the sheriff, and avoid the jester. This section is about Garten of Banban 4, so check back later when the game has released. Stop adding pictures. It's vandaled. Official? No. It's too enormous. I'm kind of mad today because someone came in here and rewrote multiple paragraphs with horrible grammar and added more paragraphs with horrible grammar about things that don't matter to the full story. My main point is the rewriting, because replacing perfect paragraphs with unreadable ones is vandalism. I had to rewrite so much that my hand is going numb from so much writing. I don't know who did it because it was so long ago, but I wish I knew who. Just lock this. Me too. The ball pit is an area connected to the playground. The entrance can be found next to a pillar bird's mission. Boarded up with 2 planks which are breakable with the hammer, and a sign next to it which is a scribbled out ball pit closed. As for the ball pit itself, contrary to its name, it isn't filled to the brim with colorful plastic bowls, but rather it's just an empty, deep, dark abyss, which is most likely the reason it was temporarily boarded up and marked closed. However, it's unknown why the ball pit was this deep to begin with, as it would be played in by young children. The ball pit is an area which makes its debut in Garten and Banban and is later acknowledged by a note in Garten and Banban 2. It is the location of the What Was My Color puzzle, along with being the place where the Opila bird chase takes place, which ties with a wall button located on an block on the ceiling. Hitting this activates the wooden platforms, letting the player escape and then Opila bird's chase. The ball pit is a major foundation of the game itself in terms of lore, and without it, the game itself wouldn't happen. Apparently, the ball pit collapsed on Bring Friend Day, awakening the monsters that lurked beneath it. The monsters started attacking workers and students, and notably, Nob Nob was proven to have attacked workers in the comm sector and throughout the kindergarten. The ball pit is why the kindergarten is empty. There is a one secret egg hidden in the ball pit. The page count went down. It was 250 when I started. Bombalina. Kindness is free, so sprinkle it everywhere. Jump scare. Banbalina is the female counterpart to Banban. She is a tall, white-colored humanoid devil with horns similar to Banban, though she does not have his party hats, instead sporting a singular pink bow tie. She also doesn't have a tongue, like Banban. Her monster form is a tall white devil covered in veins with a wide open mouth. She has makeup poorly painted across her eyes and mouth. Just like her depiction, she has a pink bow tie. Her jump scare form is the same as her monster form, except she has burning red eyes with her makeup pouring down her face, melting across it, giving her a creepier appearance. Teacher, Flumbalara, Case 7. Relatives, Banban, lover / friend. Teacher / mascot. Genome, Scavanium human monster. Genome donor, Beverly Mason, presumably. Gender, female. Height unknown, weight unknown, eyes black, red, angry transformation, bloodshot eyes, bumpy makeup. Played by Haya. Bombalina plays a much bigger role in the Garten of Banban 2, being introduced first as a friendly monster who saves the player's life from a pillar bird. But she mainly ends up serving as an antagonist to the rest of Garten of Banban 2, where if the player disobeys her, she kills the player, but if the player obeys her, she will let the player live. Bombalina is first seen as an illustration in the communications sector, alongside the expanded cast illustration that is the Garten of Banban 2. Lately, she appears for the first time in the testing sector. If the player enters the Apilla room, they will being pursued by a pillar bird. She steps out of Bombalina's classroom into the middle of the corridor and guides the player into the classroom. Bombalina is seen in her classroom as the class's teacher, where she instructs the player to sit and conducts classes in which she asks revision questions on the subjects of maths, science, and kindness, while allowing the player and their fellow students to take breaks in the rec room after the maths and science classes. During the health and kindness class, Bombalina hears slow sea line calling out hello outside and leaves the room to investigate, believing it to be another student. The player uses this as an opportunity to escape the classroom, and several of the other students also skip class at this time. Upon discovering this, Bombalina is upset and can be heard talking about how she tried to be a good teacher this time, suggesting that she has had previous classes and unsuccessfully. She is unable to pursue the player due to them closing the door they escape through. If the player not closes the door, she will shout at the player, "You've been a bad student," and kills the protagonist. Bombalina's final appearance is in the assembly room and Opila Bird's walkway. At assembly time, Bombalina enters the room through her own walkway and pursues the player along with Jumbo Josh for having been a bad student through Opila Bird's walkway. Ultimately, Banban chases the player to the end of the walkway until she is flattened by a punch from Jumbo Josh, then taken away, dropping the white keycard. When the protagonist is being chased by the Opila Bird, quick, in here. Sit. Wrong. Correct. I am so excited. You will learn to annihilate others, how to safely extract a human brain eating, and wrong answer will be very harshly punished. Be late again, and I'll rip you to pieces. No, not again. I tried to become a good teacher this time. You've been a bad student. In the Jumbo Josh puzzle, she will ask us to solve an equation written as integral smiley face equals happiness, which could mean that smiling is equal to infinite happiness, which might explain why integral smiling equals infinity. Might explain why she is cheerful all the time. It seems that she's crying in the trailer of Garten of Banban 4.
mataremos hasta amanecer. Bamba, 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 bambalina, bamba, 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 bambalina. Ah, yo te quiero. Wow. Jumbo, Jocelyn y Nat son traición. Mi ejército dio pila, no cumplió su función. Tú eres mi amor, sé que mía serás y te sabré domar. Wow. Bamba, 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 bambalina, bamba, 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 bambalina. Ah, yo te quiero. Wow. Bamba, bambalina, bambalina.
So wait, does that make Banban and Bombalina is lovers? Cause it says so. Persona? Roblox RP. Ohio schools be like. The reason why we are deleting your vandalizes is because it is freaking breaking the rules. Get out of our pages and go vandalize furry vandals. You racist vandalizers? Don't vandalize furry pages either, just stop vandalizing altogether. Are you a furry yourself? Furries are cringe and terrible, and only gacha children like them. I once had a page vandalized, but I got banned by a furry who fakes autism and lies about their age for punishing a vandalized the vandalizer's page for vandalizing. Garten of Banban Roleplay, or Garten of Banban Roleplay Roblox, is made by Jewel Games in partnership with the Euphoric Brothers. Enter Banban's kindergarten, but this time you can play as your favorite gob characters, chat with others, change your nickname, voice chat with friends, and so much more. But remember to be careful as you're far from alone. You can join the Jewel Games X Euphoric Brothers group to get a free badge and free patriotic morph for a limited time. Gum. Gum is an item that appears in Bombalina's classroom. Money. Money is an item that appears in Bombalina's classroom. Seashells. The seashells are all different items that appear in the canon game room. Eggs. There are 6 eggs. The player can collect each one egg during the event of Garten of Banban. Feeding all 6 eggs to a pillowbird will result in a pillowbird giving the player the yellow key card. Purple room. Inside the room is a desk with 2 computers and 2 tickets. The tickets are for a trip from Montreal, Canada to Madrid, Spain, and are designated for Dr. Wolfman Adam and Waverly Mason. I freaking love purple. Unknown sector. I legit got jump scared. Containment cells. The containment cells appeared during Garten of Banban 4. They are a group of rooms all in the same area where Sheriff Toadster is keeping most of the monsters prisoner. Jimbo Josh, Singer Flynn, Opila Bird, Banban. Oh. I'm gonna go eat food. I'm gonna make this when I get done eating. For gore. Edited an hour ago. No, now it's back up to 250. Discord. Oh. Patriotic RP skins are skins in the Garten of Banban RP. Each skin costs 45 Robux and is based on 4th of July, which is the USA's Independence Day. Currently, the morphs are unavailable. The skins are white with splashes of red and blue throughout its body. It also has red and blue stripes stretching around from its head to its toes. Player. The player is the protagonist of the Garten of Banban franchise. They are a mother who is looking for their children who went missing during the events of Bring a Friend Day in Banban's kindergarten. Their backstory is unspecified, but all we know is that they are searching for their children, but unfortunately they have to face a lot of dangers in the kindergarten, like a pillar bird, Jumbo Josh, giant aqua captain fiddles, Bombolina, Nab Nab, and many other twisted monsters that are in the kindergarten. The player continues to find history and uncovers the truth about the kindergarten in small steps. So the player is presumably a female, aka the mother looking for a child. I am legit drowning in regret, but regret is funnier right now. Is it Joel? Theoretically, both standpoints are invalid. Theoretically! We can't take the silhouette as evidence as it is not confirmed as official. The notes could have been addressed to any parent as the child isn't confirmed to be related in any way to the player. Therefore, we have to wait. Oh, R. Instagram. Bancoin. Cafeteria. Not Bancoins. Bancoins are the currency in the lower levels of the kindergarten during Garten of Banban 4 used by the Bouncelius Castle. Bancoins aren't actually shown during the games and are instead referenced on wanted posters. 1 billion Bancoins. Neon RP skins. The neon RP skins. Are the skins that can be purchased in Garten of Banban roleplay. The skin is glowing on each body, and it costs 199 Robux on each pack. Parkour room. The parkour room is a room in Gob 2 that is located in the testing sector. In the room, there is a starting area with 2 messages on the wall as well as various couches against the wall. The player has to jump between many different platforms that are supported by beams that are connected to the wall or the floor. The player can also find a videotape on a corner platform. There is an empty dark abyss at the bottom of the room that seems to have been filled with toy balls in the past, but currently they are all missing. After completing the parkour, the player will arrive at the top of the room where they must complete one final jump, which will lead them into the assembly room. Player can die if fall into abyss at the bottom. These are all different from Garten of Banban 2 mobile to PC. In the mobile version, it is easier. The platform is stuck together to let anyone easier to jump and get into the assembly room. Yeah, come on. X. Huh? They're really calling it that. Oh, okay. Why is there a page called British? Deleted. 5? Wait. So, prequel is the 5th installment. Wait. Garten 6? There'll be a new character. Since there is a Garten of Banban 6, there is a possible deeper floor than this. Actual fucking trailer? What? They're coming out together? Banban 4. Explore the abandoned levels of Banban's kindergarten. Survive the residence of the establishment that was left suspiciously empty. Uncover the truth behind the place and find the whereabouts of your missing child. It was announced on May 5th, 2023, the day Garten of Banban 3 released. It has been confirmed that Sheriff Toadster is going to be the main focus, making Garten of Banban 4 his official debut in the series. Additionally, Sophia's Tamataki and Chamataki, Queen Celia, and a new character simply referred to as the Jester, will also play some significance in the story. The game's art and Steam page were created secretly on April 26, 2023. Also, the model for Sheriff Toaster seems to be in a very early state. The player will be accompanied by a baby Opila bird, the same one who joined them after Opila bird and Tartar bird met an uncertain fate during the monster fight at the end of the third game. And if true, the player may also have to protect the baby Opila from any threats they might encounter. Queen Celia and the Jester due to major focus on medieval times, due to the presence of the latter and the kingdom mentioned on a whiteboard before the end of Gob 3 will likely serve as the game's main antagonists. Singer Flynn and Banban survived the monster fight as shown in the second teaser trailer. It was speculated that the game was going to release July 7th, 2023 or August 4th, 2023, following the patterns of the release on GOB 2 and GOB 3. However, that turned out to be false. The game actually released on August 11th, 2023. Fun facts, the EB actually made a collab with 2-Star Games, Choo Choo Charles created. Character roles. I found something shocking in this game. I think this is the final chapter. Why do people always complain? Oh, it's a copy of Poppy Playtime? Like Honey Be Be fucking for real? It's nothing like Poppy Playtime to me. As for that. Sharing is caring, your pancreas is mine. Oh. Banban is a tall, red humanoid figure with 2 party hats, sitting on 2 horns on his elliptical head. elliptical, only consisting of 2 round eyes and a toothless mouth, occupied with a long flaccid tongue inside. Banban's monster form is nearly identical to his depiction. The only big difference is his veiny skin caused by Gavanium. He, however, has a different posture with his hands behind his back. He also has the ability to speak fluently. Banban's hellish form has a much more muscular body. His party hat's now gone, revealing devil horns with a spiral-like pattern, similar to the ones on the party hats. His eyes are fully white and a lot larger, not to mention triangular, and his mouth is contoured to a grin with a sharp set of teeth and a darkened tongue. Oh yeah! Banban is the titular deuteragonist of Garten of Banban 2. While he only appears twice, he's still a major playing force. He initially poses as a victim, trapped inside a security room, instructing the player before tricking them and knocking them out, bringing them to the medical sector. Then he appears to begin behind the glass in the assembly room, where he reveals he was helping a player and searching for the missing children. In Garten of Banban 3, he reveals at the beginning of the game that he's prone to violent instincts and can be very aggressive, deciding to stay away from the protagonist. He still helps the player by instructing them to go to Stinger Flint, who knows more about the missing children's whereabouts. Later, while in the first one of Stinger Flint's flashback playing in a Stinger Flint mode, we are shown a cutscene where Stinger Flint is in a boat with Banban is looking at him in his hellish form and talking about his lack of organs, from which the pancreas was the major loss. He is captured by Stinger Flint near the end of the game and transformed into his hellish form in the final chase sequence with Opila Bird and Tartar Bird attacking should the player fail to make the correct bird cross the light first. After the chase, he fights Jumbo Josh before being knocked out by him. Before Jumbo Josh can do anything more, he gets interrupted by Stinger Flynn. As revealed in a teaser for the 4th chapter, Banban's legs moved, proving he is possibly alive. In the second Garten of Banban 4 teaser trailer, Banban is shown laying seemingly injured on the floor in the aftermath of the monster fight, but his legs are shown twitching, revealing that he is simply in an unconscious state, and because of that, his Gavanium solution is balanced out, transforming out of his hellish form. Family Feud. Pancreas. Official car song? Tickets on sale? Splatoon Steve? Garten of Banban next Tuesday got me scared. Woo-wee. I added Banban baths. pancreas is literally a corn, but it's an organ? Banban, the leader of the gang, from a friendly humanoid creature to a strong and muscular demon. My favorite part is where Banban fight Jumbo Josh and Smash. He squashed him down to concrete. Keep up the good work. Sounds like a Target employee. Does he? Oops.
Hey, you there. I can see you on the cameras. I am so happy to see you. And I need your help with something. Wait, can you hear me? I thought this was the end. You've got to get me out of here. If I recall correctly, only maintenance workers held the light blue key card. So you're gonna have to...
No, he just has an accent. It's not a Target employee. Replace the two A's with an O and you get... What? He's Russian. Wait, what? He has 200,000 polygons? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Eat vegetables and fruits to become strong like me. Oh shit, they added shadows. What the fuck? Okay, I am going to a therapist now. From creepypastas are the best. What the fuck? Please, what? Please don't ban me for vandalizing. Please, I beg you, I'll fix it. What? Sneed? Jumbo Josh is a homosexual. I am homosexual. Garten of Banban Wiki rules. None. Shadow RP skins. Syringion. Glass. Glass is found in the creativity area during GOB and in the maintenance room. During GOB 2, glass is something that is used to block the drone. It cannot send signals through the glass. In order to break yellow glass, you need to send something that will indirectly hit the glass without pointing at it, then allowing the drone to hit whatever is behind the glass while also breaking the yellow glass in the process. Cleaner. The cleaner is an object that appears in the B2 cafeteria. During Garten of Banban Tree, they are simply used to check if the entirety of the B2 cafeteria has been cleaned or not. That is, clear of crayons not dispensed. In Garten of Banban Tree, a cleaner is used to check if the player had collected all of the crayons scattered throughout B2 cafeteria's floor, including if they are still in the player's hand. Gavania. Excuse me? Infinity? That's not how... It is used to create living creatures such as the monsters encountered throughout the games. It is an element slash chemical material. It would be an element. Element of... You mean... Periodic table symbol. sort of artificial blood or substitute for blood that circulates in inanimate things. Gavanium has an infinite amount of protons and electrons as seen as in its element, though this is chemically impossible. What? It seems that Gavanium is from down south, as it says on one of the notes in Uffman's office. Since the game is held in Canada, you can assume that Gavanium is coming from the United States, or more likely, some place where things can be hidden easily, Antarctica. Gavanium couldn't actually exist in our real world, as it has an infinite amount of protons and electrons in its atoms, which means its atomic mass is also infinite, and due to the small space which is contained, it will generate a black hole that will destroy the universe. It is also possible that its number of protons and electrons is infinite, because it is actually an unknown number, or this element's atoms don't have protons or electrons, but rather something else, which makes it unique. In Garten of Banban roleplay, there exists a currency called Gavanium. Is this real? No, if it was, our entire universe would be destroyed. I want to make it real. It's impossible to do it because it has an infinite amount of protons and electrons in its atoms. This page will be a 19+ website. Clocks. What? Clocks? The desert. The desert is the location Stinger Flynn trapped the player's mind in during Garten of Banban Tree. It is a vast desert with a hill in the middle. Inside the dream, the player finds themselves in a car driven by Stinger Flynn, accompanied by other monsters. Nab crawls on the floor, following the car. After driving in circles for hours, Banban realizes they're lost and points it out. Stinger Flynn tries to argue, but not paying attention to the road, crashes into a cactus. The car explodes and the dream ends. Hey you're finally awake. Can't blame you for taking a nap. I feel like we've been in this car forever. So Stinger, when are we arriving at this place called Beach? I believe we are lost. Screams and annoyance. Nice, you had one job and you messed it up somehow. I am struggling to locate the being who asked for your opinion. Can you at least put some music on, since we're gonna be out here for a while? Plays Rivals. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Pillar, what do you think about this? Screams in agreement. Awesome. Captain, what about you? Captain responds in sign language. Okay, decent answer. Can you stop vocalizing for just 1 second so I can focus on the road? What do you mean focus on the road? We've been going in circles for hours. Never trust a jellyfish, am I right, Opila? Screams in agreement. If your pathetic mouth utters another infuriating sentence, I will shut your whole body in one of those stupid party hats on your head. The car crashes into a large cactus and ending the dream. I was dying. Oh my god. tongs. The tongs. Fucked up tongs. The tongs are an item that appears in the surgery room during Garten of Banban Treat. The tongs are used to reset the power in the surgery room to make sure the machine doesn't run out of power, causing a failure in the surgery which would cause Nalina to come to life early and killing the player instantly. The player must alternate to retrieve tools, which one of these tools are the tongs. Velma Wiki? Blog list summary equals true, count equals 50, title. Create blog post, recent listing title, title, type, plain, close type, order date, close order, close block list. When Garten of Banban 6 comes out, I'm gonna retire. I really love you guys, but I have a lot of life ahead of me. And I feel like this wiki stops me from living an amazing life. It's a distraction. I've been so focused on this job. Don't remove my position yet though, so when Gob 6 comes out, I'm gonna leave. I'll make sure to enjoy every single moment left of you guys. Can I replace you when you leave, /J? First of all, that's very rude. Second of all, that's not my decision. Can you guys go on my profile and reply to the drawing thing? Read the rules first. Just to... No, you won't have to find this guy's here. I hope you enjoyed your time on this wiki, but I'm not leaving yet. We all know that'll never happen. Oh, so you're not getting the position. I'm gonna go travel with my sister. I'm not gonna be active tomorrow, so I can't work on the pages for Gob 4, sadly. Have fun. Stop the hate on Skibbity Toilet. There are some users who have banned here for participating in rating of its wiki. Please, I understand, all of us do not need to like it. But please share your opinions peacefully and respectfully and not write comments like no offense, but Skibbity Toilet doesn't deserve a wiki. Skibbity Toilet is a good series and has lore. It's kind of cringe from the surface, but it's kind of good. Admin from the Skibbity Toilet Wiki. Why do people act like raiding is a fucking war crime?
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family. There's old friends and new friends, and even then,
Goodbye. So I've been doing some thinking and I'm retiring. I'm giving up my admin position and leaving the wiki. This isn't a bad thing, I've just been really busy. And I'm not on the wiki like I was, and I don't love it like I used to. I've made a lot of new friends, and during the past 6 months I didn't have many all for me. And so I used this wiki as a way to have friends I could talk about and hang out with, even though I didn't know if any of them were actually who they said they were. So yeah, I'm gonna step down just like Ryan. I might be active every once in a while, but it won't be frequent.
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my.
Can I be an admin? First I have to apply for moderator. Gradually I become an overseer, and then I may ask for an administrator role. You need way more posts to apply for a moderator. Okay, thank you.
Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear, no, I can't help but to hear in exchanging of words. What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says the bridesmaid to a waiter. But what a shame the poor groom's bride is off. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of, well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne. Oh, well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne, pour the champagne. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison nationality.